That night that I left Nate's house, I had nothing left. No friends, no family. The only thing I had was the clothes on my back, a needle in my pocket, a spoon in my pocket, a lighter in my pocket, and 2 pills that I knew I could crush up and cook and put my arm. I walked to Clovis-High and I slept inside the baseball stadium under the announcer's tower because it was raining and I needed a place to stay dry. And I had a sleeping bag to keep me warm. On that walk, it was the most depressing day of my life. On that walk, I thought about it just being one time. On that walk, I thought about being on the cover of a magazine. And now I'm walking the street with nobody. I didn't understand how my life had taken a turn this way. On that walk, I started thinking about 4 individuals that were using drugs with me, and I said, why is this not happening to them? Why is this happening to me? What I didn't realize was that within 5 years, all 4 of those people I thought about would be dead from drug overdoses. I told myself that night that I slept on the street for the first time in 2006, you're going to die soon. This is it. It's over. You can't stop. You're a robot to these drugs. The only thing you can do is put these drugs in the needle and put them in your arm. You're going to die soon. For the next 6 months, I slept on the street. For the next 6 months, I slept in dirt fields. For the next 6 months, I slept at a Motel 6 if I was lucky. For the next 6 months, I slept behind grocery stores, behind the dumpsters so people couldn't find me. For the next 6 months, I slept in schools. And I wondered the same thing every night that I wandered the street. Why is my life turning out like this? I just wanted to stop. I just wanted to stop. But I couldn't get it to stop. On January 21st, I had a life-changing experience. On January 21st, the night of January 21st, I broke into a house that was up for rent. I broke into this house that was up for rent. I had my heroin dealer bring me some heroin and cocaine, and speedballing was what I did, so I shot them up both at the same time. I shot this dope up, speedball, passed out. The next day I woke up with the cops in my face with the guns drawn. 2 p.m. on January 22nd. And I remember thinking, it's over. My life is over. I'm going to prison for 10 years, just like that judge told me. They put me in the back of the cop car, took me to jail. 30 days later, I had to crawl to court. I could walk for about 10 steps before I had to drop down and start crawling because I was in so much pain from these withdrawals that I was going through. And the cops don't care what you're going through, and they shouldn't care. I had made these choices that put me in this situation, and I couldn't stand up because my body hurt so bad, so I had to crawl into the courtroom. I get into the courtroom, and they say, you're going to get 4.5 years today. And I said, they told me I was going to get 10. They said, well, the paperwork says 4.5, and the judge that you had retired. So I get in front of this judge, he gives me 4.5 years. They said I had 672 days credit. I didn't know where those credits came from. Well, I said, well, how long am I going to do? They said 2 years. I said, wow, I could do that. 2 years is great, let's go. That night I laid down on my bunk, and I looked up on the ceiling, and somebody had wrote these words that changed the rest of my life. I read these words that said, be careful what you think, because your thoughts become your words. Be careful what you say, because your words become your actions. Be careful what you do, because your actions become your habits. Be careful what you make a habit, because your habits become your character. And your character becomes your destiny. And I kept reading it over and over and over and over and over and over. It started to make so much sense. It all started when I was in 3rd grade. I wanted to be like Dennis Rodman. It all started in 3rd grade when I started looking up to Allen Iverson. See, what they didn't tell me when I was a young kid is, son, the people that you're watching on TV, those are not the rule. That's the exception. Most people that talk and act like that, they don't get $1 million contracts. They end up in places like where you're at, or they end up in the unemployment line because they don't like to listen to anybody. There was a reason that Terrell Owens got kicked off every team he was on, because nobody wanted to be around that kind of person. He was just so good that he always found a team to be on. So I started telling myself, if this process could make me unsuccessful, then I can reverse engineer this process and make myself successful.